Hi everyone, Happy New Year. I hope you're all well and you've all managed to find a few days to have a little bit of a break over the last week or so. Today I'm going to take you on my BSBI New Year plant hunt, which is this really fun, really easy citizen science project which looks at the plants that are in flower, the wild plants that are in flower at the turn of the year. It's very easy to get involved. You don't have to be an expert botanist. You don't even have to be a naturalist, to be honest. All you have to do is go outside and explore your local area and see what wild or naturalized plants you can find in flower. So the idea is you spend up to 3 hours between the 1st and the 4th of January just exploring your local area and recording all the plants which you find in flower. It's not garden plants or anything you think might have been planted. It's just the wild or naturalized ones, which, the things you might call weeds or wildflowers. Those are the ones we're interested in. Now, I know it's the middle of winter, but there are loads of things in flower. All you have to do is go outside, slow down, take time to notice them, and you'll suddenly realize how many things are flowering. Whether you're in the middle of the countryside, up a mountain in Scotland somewhere, or as I am today, in the middle of a really urban environment like London. So to show you this is the case, I am going to take you with me on my New Year plant hunt, and we're going to wander around central London and see what we can find. Okay, so I'm going to show you 3 of the plants I find today, so this video doesn't go on for too long. First stop is Parliament Square, in the middle of Westminster. There are all sorts of people wandering around, wondering what I'm doing, crawling around on the grass on Parliament Square. But here's the first plant that I found on my plant hunt. So it might be muddy and there might not be much growing, but I have managed to find a little common daisy, Bellis perennis, growing in the middle of Parliament Square, right next to the Houses of Parliament and Big Ben. And yeah, it's just blooming away. There's people wandering around who have absolutely no idea what I'm doing right now. But I just love that this plant is just flowering away without a care in the world, and London life going on around it. Okay, so I've been wandering around Trafalgar Square desperately trying to find something in flower other than daisies, and I managed to find this very, very weedy looking dandelion, which I'll admit isn't the most exciting thing in the world, but it is in flower and it does count. And so I have, despite the fact that Trafalgar Square is just weeded to oblivion, I have managed to find a couple of flowering plants. So yeah, dandelion definitely counts. Okay, we're up to 7 species. I've just got things like annual meadowgrass and shepherd's purse on the streets around Piccadilly. This is without doubt one of the weirdest plant hunts I have ever been on. Okay, just clocked up about 5 or 6 different species in a bit of weedy ground outside Buckingham Palace. Things like yarrow, common mouse ear, there was a white dead nettle, which is an absolutely classic New Year plant hunt find. Seems to flower all year round. There was also some creeping thistle, which is not what I would expect to find in the middle of London, particularly on the Queen's doorstep, but fair play to her. She hasn't had all the grass around where she lives weeded. And there's some nice little spots where I'm sure in the summer they look absolutely beautiful because they're full of plants. So yeah, the Queen has done very well, and I'm sure if she had done her own New Year plant hunt, then she would be hitting double figures as well. So I just found Gallant Soldier, which is a nice little member of the daisy family. It was growing out of the bottom of like an old wall outside a rather nondescript building. So obviously I bent down to have a look, took a quick video, and was about to tell you all about it when a government security guard turned up and told me to get a move on because I was apparently disturbing the peace just by looking at this wildflower. He didn't believe for 1 second that I was a botanist and looking at plants, but whatever, never mind. I've added it to my list, it counts. So yeah, Gallant Soldier. So I'm going to finish today's plant hunt by showing you Leaf Toeflax. which is another really classic New Year plant hunt find, particularly in urban areas where it loves to grow out of the cracks in the walls and the pavements. So yeah, last find today is Leaf Toeflax. I've come to the end of my 3 hours, so I've got to stop despite all the fun I'm having. So yeah, go and have a go yourself. All the details are on the BSBI website, and just enjoy it. It's a really good way to get outside in the new year. And despite the fact it's the middle of winter and the centre of London might be the last place in the world you might expect to find wild plants flowering in the middle of winter, I've managed to find 17 different species in flower, so I'm pretty pleased with myself. I'm gonna go and get a cup of tea, but yeah, give it a go sometime between the 1st and 4th of January. Yeah, it's really fun, so enjoy.